Good morning everyone. So today's video is going to be a lot less polished because I'm expecting my first child this Thursday. Super exciting times, but I still wanted to get this video out. Normally I read the script, I edit it all, I put it all together, really organize my thoughts. So apologies in advance if it's not as polished as my normal reviews. Long story short, what we have today is an overview of this LG screen, and we'll make some comparisons versus the Pro Display XDR. I have some notes here to talk about different talking points. In a nutshell, I promise that my channel is not going to be about ranting about screens. There are some screens I really like the Pro Display XDR. There are some things that I really like about this LG UltraFine. For example, the unboxing was nice. It's packaged pretty well. You get a Thunderbolt 5 cable, a huge power brick here. That's 360 watts. Your lights do not dim when you turn it on. Stand is nice and metal base here. This is plastic, but it looks kind of nice. Not the same exact thing as the Pro Display XDR. I really wanted to love this LG 6K because I've been waiting for it for a while. Short of a few things that are really great about it, unfortunately, I don't know if I'm just getting unlucky with these panels or if it's a consistent issue, but let me pull up. Here's a sample image of Google on a Pro Display XDR. See how the colors are nice and consistent. I don't know if you can tell on the video, but it's a nice brilliant white. When we look at the 6K, and actually LG UltraFine 6K, and we turn the brightness up here, I don't know if you can see on video, but this portion of the screen is just bluish. Like when you display a white image, it's just blue down there. It's kind of hard to see on the camera. I don't know why the camera is picking it up, but not picking it up. In person, it's really observable. There's blue corner here, as well as blue here, and blue that goes like this, and blue that goes across the top here, with consistent colors like in this spot here. So this is where it's white, and you can kind of see the blue. Now you can kind of see the blue just go across here. In comparison to a Pro Display XDR. Perfectly normal image here. So I don't know, I really wanted to love this, but for $2,000, my work screen, a $250 LG, has no problems with color consistency. The whole thing is white. And I bought that thing for $250 in 2020. The good things about this display, it's super bright. It gets super bright and works with better display and all of that. It looks terrific. The colors, some people didn't like them, but I think the colors look terrific on the screen. Different videos look terrific. Let me pull up an 8K Oregon Nature Trail. If you're not displaying a white image on the screen, you'll love this if you're using it for color work. But if you're displaying a white image, you're definitely gonna see that like blue halo around it. But HDR is okay. I turned on HDR. When you do, colors look a little washed out. For the desktop elements, videos look great on this. Obviously, they're not going to be as good as a Pro Display XDR. Overall, this is an amazing panel. If it weren't for the blue spots, I would recommend buying this in a heartbeat. It's a matte screen, and the matte coating is a little bit more aggressive than on other displays. I have other LG screens and it's not as abrasive on the eyes. It's interesting. Here we have the Pro Display XDR just blowing the HDR. The glossy panel blows everything out of the water. Matte is obviously, the colors are less vivid and less pop to them. And there we go. But that being said, this matte coating is more noticeable than other screens. Here you can really see the texture here, especially with 6K, because you're going to be, sitting up closer to the screen and you're going to be really observing it. So this pixelation, this kind of like textured thing is going to be noticeable to your eyes. It's not like the other LG UltraFines where it's glossy and doesn't have this. You will not, like this, I think, as much. If we compare this to a nice glossy panel, let me even compare it to a different matte panel here. A different matte panel also does not have a matte coating as abrasive as this LG UltraFine. The matte coating is more abrasive. I don't know the best term for it. So there's that. Because it's 6K, you're going to be using it, you know, up close to the screen, so you're going to notice this more abrasive coating. If you run it on brightness, you're going to feel a lot more heat coming out of here. At least I felt more heat coming out of this side for sure. The stand is okay. They tried to do a thing with the Pro Display XDR, but it also doesn't grip on the table that well. Just like the Pro Display doesn't grip on the table that well by default. You can adjust this with one finger, no problem, and you're not lifting the Pro Display off of the table when you do that. With this, it is a mission to adjust this thing. If you lift it off, if you're just trying to push this up, you're actually going to be tilting the screen backwards at risk of it falling. So you have to grab the base here and and it's really stiff here. It's a really stiff mechanism here. It is not as glidey and smooth and seamless and easy as the Pro Display stand. I'll link the specs for all the adjustability, but you can tilt the screen. It's a good range. I think it has 2 more degrees than the Pro Display XDR. You can rotate it as well. That's not an issue. It doesn't swivel this way. It's like the Pro Display XDR where you have to do this. This has no support, so there are no cutouts in this stand, so these cables are all just hanging here rather than being supported, at least a cutout, so not all the stress is on the connector. So that makes me a little concerned for longevity. What else is there to talk about? The controls are on the back, so if you have this in a setup that you'll have to be reaching back around there, that's going to be quote-unquote fun. There's the joystick down there. The inputs are nice. You have your USB-Cs, what's that? Thunderbolt downstream, 3 USB-Cs, so HDMI display port, and they do include a display port cable and an HDMI cable and a USB-C cable, which is nice. I really wanted to love this, but the blue inconsistencies, $200 screens don't have this problem. Why does a $2,000 monitor have this problem? If it weren't for that, I would have endorsed this. Let me know in the comments if you want me to follow up in the comments with any other information or any other thing about the screen. So let me know if you want me to investigate anything or look at it. This has kind of a vertical banding effect that you can really see from the side here. I don't know what's going on there, but it has a vertical banding effect. The matte coating kind of becomes really prominent, just like on the Dell 4K screen. Before I forget, see my other video about reviewing the ASUS ProArt 6K, the other 6K display. I'll link that video in the description, and there I compare the Pro Display XDR to the ASUS ProArt. Compare HDR, and that video is much more organized. Long story short, the LG has a much better brightness uniformity. Again, maybe it's just my luck, but on the ASUS ProArt, this whole side was blue tinted. I think it was impacted, or it had really bad backlight bleed here. But the corners were good, but the ProArt 6K had a vertical band here of light. The backlighting, LED backlighting here is consistent. It's kind of like on the Pro Display XDR where there's a very, very tiny vignette effect on the edges here. It is not obvious that the light is just streaming from the top here. So while the ASUS ProArt 6K had a blue side to it, and it was dimmer, this side was brighter than this side. The brightness uniformity here is good. It's just the issues with the blue tint around the perimeter here. So I'll link that video and put a montage of it now. And quality of life feature that I remembered. Oh, here's the backlight. It looks quite good, quite consistent. Let's see, when you do this, the ProArt would take almost 10 seconds to display an image. The LG is great at that. It's like the Pro Display XDR, powers right on. So yeah, it powers right on. The ASUS ProArt would take 10 seconds, but let's compare the two. No issues with power on. There's no substantial delay. So yeah, kind of a less organized video. Let me know your thoughts. This was a layman's review of the LG UltraFine 6K and first impressions and all that good stuff. And thanks for tuning in.